Hello and welcome to the Miss Q. Whether you are on stage, backstage, or love watching the stage, we are the place for you. I'm your host, Jackie, and with me today is our guest, Leigh McClintock. So we are so excited you are here, Leigh.
Me too.
This is our first time recording at the actual theater. We're in the lobby of the theater right now, so that's exciting, right?
Yes.
Magical. There's people walking behind us. It's fine.
I mean, it's like Vegas.
It's like, we didn't get press releases, so hopefully they're fine.
Oh my God.
So for our listeners, I mean, I know the show you're in right now.
Yes.
But before we get to that, let's talk about where you started. So how did you first, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into theater originally?
It was 1970.
Way back when?
Way back when, before I was born. Well, I guess you could say it was in the blood. My mother did the whole Hollywood thing. My dad was in a band his whole life. Both my sisters sing too, so we all just kind of have it, I guess you could say. My mom got me into like modeling and commercials when we lived in California ever since I was like little. And what's funny is like I remember the last audition, cast calling that I had for a commercial, they didn't hire me because I was too shy. And for some reason, it was like I could do the catwalk, all that fun stuff, but for some reason, this didn't work out. And it was like the last one anyway, because my dad was like, all right, we got to get out of this town.
Right.
Time to head to Havasu. And like we had really good friends that lived here anyway, and so we followed them here. But the funny story of it is like I remember when I was leaving, there was always this one girl who I would continuously see at the casting calls, and she was standing in another casting call room, and I remember we just like walked right past each other, and I'm like, no, it was like such a weird feeling at such a young age of like knowing what competition was.
Ooh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, this girl's always gonna, like, we would always be at each other's, not throats, because we're kids, but
right.
you know.
But it was like, oh, it's either me or her that gets it. One of us gets
exactly.
this role.
And this time, it was probably her.
Right.
So, moving here, I didn't really do much other than, like, I don't know. I always would, like, sing with my dad on stage, because he was obviously always in bands and whatnot. It wasn't until, like, high school is when I got in choir, but my freshman year of high school, there was a woman, she's really very well known here in town, Blondie Miley. She was like my second mom. She taught me how to drive. She had to like got me my first car, helped me get my first car, my first email address, my job. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
She was like, she helped me get through life, through high school, and so. She was like, you're going to sing the national anthem. And I was like, what? Freshman year of high school. I'm like,
you're like, no.
Okay. So I did it, and it was so embarrassing. I was with a bunch of friends. We painted our bodies for the basketball game. And they're like, okay, Leigh McClintock to sing the national anthem. And I'm decked out in paint. And I'm like, well,
here we go. Freshman year.
Yeah. So then pretty much stuck with choir, did some drama, but I never really did any much other acting in between. And then I was like 18 when Piranha came out in town. So I did Piranha, and that was quite a different acting gig. But it was a blast.
Oh, I bet. I mean, I feel like the things you probably experienced in that were probably so fun.
Holy crap. It was like, I met so many different people, because people from all over came, and like we got to actually meet like the full like you know, cast.
Yeah.
It was so wild. And there was just chaos. I mean, but it just like it brought something to this town. It was like, you know, gave this town a little bit more character. So then I think it wasn't until like my 20s, my mom got me into doing an audition. I had sang At Last, this song, like it was like a karaoke song. I would always sing.
Oh yeah.
And so it wasn't like this thing I thought I was like, I didn't think it was a good song to sing, but it was the only thing I could think of that I knew. And so my mom's like, okay, you're going to go do this audition. So I went, I did the audition, sang at last. And for my first show, I was like, I got the lead role. And I was like,
You're like, what?
I'm like, I don't even know how to do this. And that's when I met Ricky.
And what show was that?
Dracula the musical?
Oh. That's what I thought it was.
Literally, it's a question mark at the end. Because it's like a comedy. It's like a comedy musical. And Ricky was Dracula. And it was such a fun show. It was at we did it at the high school.
Okay.
And I can't even remember like how long the run was for, but it was such a blast. I don't even really remember being nervous. I think what it was that was so great was like I was so naive to knowing anything about it that I was like, whatever happens,
like, this
happens.
is great.
Yeah, like
This is awesome.
right? And so like everybody there just like took me under their wing, and it was especially Ricky because he totally showed me like so much more of like what was out there. I didn't know much about musicals until this, and so there was like constant. He was like bringing me to different shows, and like we went to Phoenix and like with a big crew of us.
Yeah.
And saw I think it was Spring Awakening.
Oh my gosh.
Holy crap! And I was like, oh.
You're like, this is musical theater?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was like, okay. It's all around, right?
Right. It's everything.
There is no limits, really.
Literally, everything is fair game.
It is.
Yep.
It is. So, so then after that show was Man of La Mancha.
Okay.
And that's when I met Jason Fallis. And I was like, this guy's a star.
Right.
And like, but he didn't make you feel intimidated.
No.
He like makes you so welcome. And so it did, like you never had to feel like, oh my God, I can't act next to this guy. You know what I mean?
Well, because he doesn't come off like he's this like
no,
pompous, you know, like
not at all.
He's so humble and
Yes.
so like
Sweetest
sweet and
person.
caring.
Yeah. And God, so talented. So I can't exactly remember how I even got that part, but I played Antonia,
Okay.
the niece.
Yes, the niece. Okay.
So I guess I have played a villain before.
Oh.
But anyway, because she's kind of villainy. And then, oh my gosh, sometimes I'm like, I don't exactly remember how I got into Grace Arts.
Yeah.
But the first show I remember doing was South Pacific.
Okay.
I played the French girl.
Ooh.
And so this is the second time I learned French, which wasn't like too much in South Pacific.
Right.
Before, when I was a kid, I had to learn how to sing Happy Birthday in French for a commercial.
Okay.
So that was fun.
So you're like, here we are.
Oh, I know French.
You're like, I got it. They're like special skills and talents. You're like, happy birthday in French.
Yes.
Painting my body and singing the national anthem.
Yeah. I do it all. so it was just like a step into this
this
era,
world,
right?
yeah.
This world. One more step into this world. And then from there I can't even remember oh, okay, so I think after that was Legally Blonde. The first time I did it.
The first time.
Yes. And that's when I met Jake.
Yes.
Jake Ware, and we instantly became best friends.
Well, I mean, it's Jake Ware. How can you not?
Everybody becomes
Our fans love Jake Ware.
I know this. So, and it was so fun because we would just look at each other and just start laughing. So you could imagine we would get in trouble.
Oh yeah. Like you two can't be next to each other.
No. But what's funny is if you look at all the cast photos, we're so close to each other in all the photos.
I'm gonna have to look now.
I know.
Okay, listeners, this is your
notice.
challenge. You look for them in the cast photos around the theater.
We're either right next to each other or right close, and it's so funny because it would even in the photos, you just know, you look at each other and we just start busting up laughing. But that's Jake. He's just, I mean, that guy,
Yeah.
his talent, what he can do, if I had an inkling of what he had, and it's funny because we were talking about it before this recent show started, and I'm like, what I never admitted was I could never focus very well. Like, he is so good at, like, we'll be talking and, like, all of a sudden he's like, gotta go. And I'm like, I would totally have been lost and probably would have, like, missed my cue. So I'm like, okay, I can't do that. I'm not that person.
Yeah.
I have to really focus. But that obviously in time gets a lot better. So for me being so new, I was like, oh God. Too much fun.
You're like, oh.
Yeah. Like, I don't take myself too seriously. Like, I'm a child, let's be honest.
I mean, I think we all are. We just put on the front of being an adult.
Yeah.
On the inside, we just want to have like a good time with our friends, be silly,
and this is where that happens for me. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, I have really great friends and we laugh and we do all the fun stuff. But for some reason, like, when I come into theater, I'm just like giddy.
Well, it's a place where you, again, not only get to have fun, but you get to be someone that's not yourself. And you just get to put everything into it.
Yeah.
And be like, I'm going to act a fool. And it's okay because it fits the character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Yeah. It's just great. Like, we're so lucky we have this.
I know. This space in particular, like, we are just, I feel like there's so many communities that don't have anything like this.
Yeah. Like, again, like, maybe there's high schools that do all this, but again, like,
we're adults.
we can't do that.
We can't walk into the high school and be like, hi, we'd like to audition.
Yeah, they're like, get out.
You're too old.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Are you? We won't go there.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyways, moving on.
Oh my God.
So then you did Legally Blonde the first time, and then was that your last show before this one?
No, I don't. Oh my gosh, if I can remember, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I did a couple of more shows after that, but then I fell in love.
Oh,
I met Dustin.
Yeah,
and I blame Dustin. No, my world like turned upside down, and it was just like, it was a new chapter in my life, and so I'm like, okay, there's a whole new situation here. And then from, oh my gosh, just in the past, I think I had been talking about it for the last 8 years with Dustin. Like, I was like, I really feel like I want to do this. I just don't know. Like, is it time? Am I too busy? Like, is work in it? Like, I'm like, I already make work a priority. Like, and I love what I do.
Right.
I love my job. Like, I love the people I'm with. Will this take up too much time? And then as time like goes on, you realize like if you want to do it, you just make a priority, or your priorities just change.
Right. Just for that short period of time, like you have to make some adjustments.
Yes. I don't have to do this. I don't have to go and try to audition for every show. Like, that's not reality.
Right. You're like, I'm an adult and I have a work-life balance plus a fun-life balance.
Yes. But I'll tell you, when I got back into it, I was overjoyed that it then trickled into my personal life, my work life and everything, and it just made everything so much better. Yeah. And Dustin is always about do what you love, because what happens is it's going to help you perform better everywhere else in your life. And so when I finally was like, I'm doing it, I saw Lauren in the drive-thru right here, and she was like, auditions are tonight, and I'm like, I'm not ready. But anyway, I ended up sending in a video because I wasn't able to come that night, and then they asked for me to sing another song, so I sent that in, and then from there, I was actually cast in Grease, but then I had a conflict. Oh man, I wasn't able to make it. Yeah. But then Jake hits me up because, like, I didn't know about. I'm so out of the loop. I didn't know about the Facebook group.
Yes.
And so
I started Circle of Friends.
Yes. So then I get a text from Jake, and he goes, "I'm so excited. We're going to be in Legally Blonde again together." And I go, "What are you talking about?"
Oh my God, you had no idea.
I had no idea. And he was like, "The cast list, it's posted." He goes, "I'll send it to you." And like I go because I don't know what page I was looking at. It was some other Grace Arts page. And I'm like, I don't see anything. And he sends it to me, and I'm like, oh my God, it's real. I'm in it.
You're like, all right, here we go.
Yes. And it was a different role than what I had in the first time I did it. So now I'm playing Vivian, and I love it.
I love
so
how you're
much.
just like,
I have a problem.
Well, in the first time, you were one of the Delta Nu girls.
Yes, I was Pilar.
Pilar.
Yes.
And so now playing Vivian, that's very different.
Very.
Very
so
different.
opposite. Like polar opposites. Like
Yeah.
literally Vivian is the type to be like, good God.
Like, what is happening?
Stop
Knock
squealing.
It off. Knock it off. Yes. And I feel like you portray that so well, which is so different from your normal personality.
True. That's so true. When that wig goes on,
Oh,
game time.
Vivian is here when that wig is on. The bob is out. She's
helps.
serious.
The wig helps a lot. So, and so do the outfits. So speaking of, she put everything together so perfectly and made her exactly what she needed to look like.
Yeah.
And it puts you in that mood immediately.
Yeah. Oh, Jessica Aston's so good at being like, this is what, and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I don't, and then you put it on, you're like, actually,
Yes.
I do feel like a bookish client now. Like,
Yeah. Like she obviously has the vision that most of us don't.
I know. I'd be like, I'll just wear whatever. Like, I don't
I
know.
could barely shop for myself, let's be honest.
Right? I'm like, oh.
I put that on Dustin's shoulders. I'm like, does this look fine?
You're like,
He's
is this? No. He's like, wear this.
Try again.
Go back in, do it again.
Yeah.
That's good, though. You need that.
Yes. And oh my God, with working with you, like I just love you and I backstage.
Oh my gosh.
Every time we sing to each other, I'm just like, this is the stuff that literally lights me up.
I know, we went out to eat after the show the other night, and I was telling Sydney and Bailey, I'm like, oh, you should see Leigh and I backstage. I go, you guys are singing your like love song to each other. We're singing it backstage. And he was like, wait, what?
Just in case you need a backup.
Just in case we're ready to go on. We have that scene down pat.
Yeah.
The hands on the door and everything.
Exactly. Ready to cry. That part I do have to. I have to. Because it's the part where he's, what is it? Please will you open the door? I'm just like,
I know. That part gets me. Like if I'm like listening to the soundtrack and I hear that song, I'm like, oh God, okay. This is an emotional roller coaster right here.
And what's so funny is I love to hear how everybody gets emotional too, because like for the longest time I'm in my car, and every time I go to like sing it, all of a sudden I get choked up, and I'm like, why am I? What is wrong with me?
So were there any challenges coming back to the theater or coming back to this show in particular?
No. You know, that was like the scary part, was not being scared and not having those nerves. Not until the first night. The first night I was like, here we are. This is it.
We're
the
doing
it.
it. Hey guys.
And they're loud and it's happening. But like, I think what lightens the mood is like when you hear them laugh, you're like, yes.
Yes, because we've been saying those lines for weeks.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, people laughed the first time I said it. And, and now everyone's like, whatever.
Yes, exactly.
So you're like, oh, that is funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
all
right. That was a joke. Oh, yeah. So then you have to be like, oh, yeah, okay, now that we've like done multiple shows,
right?
Now it's like you can get more into that character, and like it's just so much smoother now. Like, I don't know.
You just, and like we were talking last week or on Friday before the show, and Dustin was saying to you, well, you guys like don't practice in between?
Yes.
And you're like, no,
it's ingrained.
We just know it.
Like,
it's there.
There's a reason they call it Hell Week.
Right, because it is all you do for that week.
Yeah.
You like eat, sleep, and breathe this theater.
100%. And like that's the thing. Like I don't know what everybody else does, but like I was watching the MTV version like every day, listening to it while I'm getting ready, just to be like, because, well, I know you're probably gonna ask, but I did miss this cue.
Oh, we'll come back to that. 'Cause yes, we are going to talk about that. We'll save
like,
that for
never
later.
doing that again. So, but that was it. Nothing crazy other than like, you know why I think I wasn't nervous was because I'd done the show before.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I pretty much know what to expect. And everything was like pretty exact to that MTV version anyhow.
Which is good.
Yeah.
And you knew people that were in the show.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but you knew some people, so
Yes.
at least there were familiar faces when you came back.
Yes, exactly. And I think it was just, I just forgot how much I loved doing this. And the fact that I love it so much, those got rid of those nerves.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, why did I? Oh, I mean, I know why.
Right. Right.
I know why I stopped, but like, why did I wait so long? But I really don't think I had the confidence like I do now. And so I think that waiting time was needed.
Yeah.
To get to become who I am, to get through what I've gone through and all the journeys and challenges that I've gone through in the past however many years that it's been, and then getting to a point where I'm like, I have the confidence, I continue to build that confidence, and now I can use it. Mm-hmm. Now I can use the tools that I've used to build confidence in myself.
Right. And share that and
yeah.
mentor the younger generation coming up just by modeling. I feel like that's a weight that's on our shoulders as adults in shows.
True.
Is really showing the younger generation like, hey, this is what it looks like to come prepared to a rehearsal.
Yes, totally.
This is what it looks like to be focused.
Yes. And, okay, this is probably TMI, but after the very first night, I was so overjoyed that the minute I laid down in bed, I got anxiety. And I was like, is this too good to be true? Like, is this, like, too good of a thing? And then, of course, there's that work you do that you've worked on for so long. It's like, no, don't try to find the bad in it. You know, this is what it is.
Right. This is good.
Settle into it, feel it, love it, and then you move on. And so, like, it took me probably the night and half the day to finally be like, okay, I understand what this is now. And then once I started getting ready for the second night performance, I was like, gone. Never came back.
You're like, I am ready for this. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit on underneath the clothing rack and get ready before the show.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
What has been your favorite part of being back in the theater? We've talked about lots of different pieces, but if you had to pick one thing,
it would have to be just the people. Like, the culture that's created when you are with all these people that want the same thing out of this. Everybody wants this to go as perfect as possible. Granted, we're not perfect. Mistakes happen. But everybody wants the same goal out of this whole thing that we're doing. Right. So everyone's helping each other. Everybody's... Hello?
The box office is closed.
The people. The most important is really the people, because we all want the same goal. We all want to get to as perfect as possible, and everybody helps each other out. Everybody is just looking out for each other, and Lauren always says it, like, look out for each other, help each other, and it's truly what everybody does. Again, the best word I can think of is overjoyed. Like, it just gives me this feeling where I'm like, I want to do this every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish I could. I mean, we'd all be exhausted. But
right. Right.
But yeah, the people are the most important. It's so special to see what everyone can do. All the talent that is in this show. I mean, Allie playing Brooke.
Oh, yes, Allie Schuster.
Jump roping while singing. Every time I watch that scene, I'm like, that's insane.
Well, and she's holding like a bridge pose as they're talking. At one point, I was like, if you watch her, you like see her because she's catching her breath because she was just jump rope. I'm like, and then she gets up and does it again. And it's like, I'm amazed. And then Allie playing Paulette. Mm-hmm. When I first heard her voice, I was like, wow, that's powerful. Yeah.
Like, she's got such powerful lungs, and I like can't wait to see her do more.
Yeah.
Because I felt like by the time I left, I didn't I didn't even really come back to see much of the shows, which is shame on me. But I could only imagine what she's like grown into and like what she's accomplished here. And like, I don't know. She's so impressive.
Yeah, she's so phenomenal. We
God.
love Allie.
Yeah. Love you, Allie. And then I just like, I mean, I could name everybody. Like, it's incredible to watch.
Yeah, I think this cast in particular, there's so many like little gems that just highlight, and you're just like, wow.
Like, of course, let's not forget about Bailey.
Yes.
Elle's part, the part she plays of Elle is a lot.
In a lot of ways, like,
oh my God, like
vocally, emotionally,
yes,
all the things.
All of it. And like, I remember watching the MTV version and then watching her, and I'm just like, you're an exact replica of what she's doing, and how she also, I want to point out how she helps everybody. Like, she knows everybody's part. So she's like, I'm watching her, and she's like, all right, okay, you go over here, and this is where, and so like, and like there was like a time where, of course, like when I get unfocused and I'm messing around and like trying to be all fun on stage, and then I like forgot my line. She goes, and she like said it for me, and I'm like, oh my God.
You're like, how do you?
You are so good. Which like explains the time she has done this, like all the experience she's had, what she's now going to go off and do in college. I don't know her, and I'm so proud of her. Like, it's amazing. I mean, I've gotten to know her very well now, but still, like, this is the first time meeting her in this show, and I'm like, you are, what a star. Like, keep going. Don't quit. And I'm sure she hears that all the time, but it's just like, you love to see people like that push and go and just make it.
And I think that's one of the things that Grace bringing this theater here has really done, because it's given those opportunities. Because yes, we've talked about it. High schools have shows all the time.
Yes, yeah.
But the kids that do the Grace Arts shows, whether it's the Arizona Coast like kids shows or these adult shows, like, they're getting so much experience and exposure.
Yes.
Then we go other places and they're like, yeah, I've done 65 shows. And they're like, you're 16.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Like, I was not doing that many shows when I was 16.
No.
And I was doing a lot.
Yeah, right.
So I'm like, wow, okay.
So true. It's amazing. I'm like, who else can I think of? Like, I know I'm missing everybody. I mean, oh my God. Everyone.
Yeah.
It's just been so fun. I'm really grateful.
If you could pick shows or roles that your like dream would love to play, what would they be?
Okay, so I remember always dancing to Chicago in my even the intro music. I was just like, I went all out. I don't know if I can really dance, but I tried.
Hey, you're doing pretty good in Legally Blonde. I feel like both of us together were like,
yeah.
We've only run into each other a couple times. It's fine.
I mean, it's a small stage.
It's a small stage. That's why. If the stage was bigger, Leah and I would be better dancers.
Like, granted, all these beautiful dancers have done so much on this stage.
I know. And we're like, nope, sorry, this is where we draw the line.
Yeah.
Not enough space.
One day. I should probably do some dancing classes. Now that would be fun.
Okay, so last summer they did adult tap classes. It was the most fun. I think they're bringing them back. I did. Oh my God, it was like every Saturday morning.
Okay.
It was so fun.
I think we should do it.
So I think they were talking about bringing them back at least for the summer, if not more.
Does Allie teach classes?
Mm-hmm. Yep, Allie was our tap teacher.
Was she?
Yeah.
What else does she teach?
Well, that's the only adult one they offer right now.
Oh.
But we've been trying to get them. A lot of us have been like, hey, you want us to be better dancers, so
let's go.
So this is the plea again. We want more adult dance classes.
We want to dance.
We might not be good, but we want to do it.
Yeah. Like, in my bedroom, I'm great.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
All around the house.
Exactly. Cast me in a show right there. I'm ready.
Let me send you a video. Dear God.
I'm like, what is this? Yep, you're real good, Leigh.
Let's send you somewhere.
There's a camp. A 2-week intensive.
Yes. You might need 4, but whatever.
It's fine. We'll pay for 2. The other 2 are on you. Donate to Grace Arts.
Yeah. I'll do
Oh my
it.
gosh.
I will do it. I'm there. I'm at that point.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Yeah. No, it was, I mean, we were like, oh, I'm like, I haven't tapped since I was a kid. And I was like,
so when did you start in all this?
Oh gosh. I don't want to hear all that. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
It's been forever. No, but I've only been, this is my like 4th or 5th Grace Art show. I like just came back. I like just started doing it here. I did it in New York and I did it as a kid and all that. So
New York?
not the city, but yes, an upstate tiny little town in New York.
Okay. Okay, I'll have to hear more
Yeah,
about
we'll talk about that after.
Oh my god. I would love to go there. I did see the Book of Mormon there.
Oh, I love the Book of Mormon.
And Wicked. I saw Wicked there too.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yes.
I love both
So-
of those shows.
Me too. Okay, Chicago.
Chicago, check.
Would
Okay.
love to do Chicago. Maybe do the French part.
Hey, there you go. She knows French. Happy birthday.
We'll see.
Maybe if she remembers it.
God, what else? I do remember it.
Okay, good.
That's
That's bonus content. Is a reel of Leigh singing.
Yes. Oh my gosh, there are so many. I don't have any like dream roles. I think I'm more just like into pushing myself to see what else I could do.
Mm-hmm.
Like characters I never thought I would go for.
Yeah.
You know, just anything that's kind of like out of the box and push myself to just get into it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I want to see what like challenges I can put myself through.
What else are you like able to? Yeah. No, I get that. So I was just Miss Hannigan in Annie.
Oh my god.
Which I'll tell you what, when I got asked to sing like a callback song for that,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't really know. I've never in my life. Everyone's like, oh, what a great part. I'm like, I've never in my life wanted to be Miss Hannigan.
Yeah.
Ever. And so I was so like,
Can I ask why?
it's so opposite of my character. Like I'm, hey.
No, what I'm saying is getting out of our comfort zone.
Right. Like I wanted to play Grace, the like brings Annie in, and I was like,
yes.
that's where I was like, yeah, no, that's
You're
where
right.
I'm comfortable.
You would be really, really great in that role, but like the challenge of being Miss Hannigan.
Well, and for me, Miss Hannigan is I'm more classically trained vocally, and so Miss Hannigan does not ever sound pretty.
No,
like
you're
she
right.
is just like crass and like her raspy like. And so that was the hardest thing. And
Yeah.
Carmen was always like, Jackie, you have to forget everything you've learned
Oh my god!
And you just have to
That's gotta be
sing.
so hard.
and get into the character. And I was like, and for some reason, like I couldn't remember my lines for that show. I don't know if it's because I've gotten
Yeah.
older, but I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassing right
That
now.
has something to do with
I'm
it.
like, man.
But I would imagine like it doesn't start out pretty, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you kind of have to just get ugly with it, and then it comes. But yeah, that would be hard.
And so I found the more fun I had with it, then people would be like, oh, that was. I mean, there's a whole scene where I like go outside and I scream, and I remember being like, I don't know. And the first time I did it, we were at the studio, and I was like, I'm just gonna scream and like throw. And Grace was like, oh, and I was like, oh, that was good. Okay, note to self, do that more.
Was it? Yeah.
And then it was like we came here in the theater. She's like, "Hey, I want you to do it for 30 seconds." And I was like, "Oh God, that's a really long time of me just."
Wow.
And then she's like, "Okay, just 15. We'll just."
All right, we'll tone it back.
I was like, oh, "Okay." But it is. Oh my God, it's one of my like favorite parts now that I've ever played.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it was-
that's so great.
Right, and well, like half of the orphans, like I either had them as students or they like just. So I was like, "Oh, I get to like be mean to you," but also like before every show, we would be backstage. The curtain was closed. Orphans were all in their beds.
Yeah.
I was waiting to go on to get baby Annie, and every night they would like sit there and like do hearts at me, and I would do and they would blow kisses, and then I would go, "Get in your bed." But every single show, and we never missed it. And the girls were like, "Come on, we have to do it." And I was like, "Oh."
They're like, we know you love us.
I was like, I know. And then there was one time one girl actually said my real name, and I was like, she goes, "I know. I asked someone what it was because I just have been calling you Miss Hannigan."
Oh my god.
I'm like, okay, yeah.
Like that took a turn.
Like, all right, well. But yeah, so going back, but like, you're again, I understand that like roles that challenge you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like that role taught me so much about not only myself, but just what I'm able to do.
Right. And I love what you said. You said something earlier about like just letting it all go.
Yeah.
You just let it all out and get ugly with it.
Yeah, and I feel like this is that space where it's like our therapy. It's our place to just like release the emotions we need to release, whatever they may be.
Because no one's judging you here.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, in fact, waiting for it,
Yeah.
you know?
And you do that thing that you're like, oh, I don't know. And then someone's like,
Yes.
oh my God, that was amazing. You're like, oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. It just, again, like, it's so, like, it's just a light in life. It's like, whoever came up with theater, you would know this.
This should be a fun fact. Who invented theater?
Yeah.
Who can comment?
Ooh, yes.
Ooh, the winner who can tell us on our, you will get a free Missed Q cup. Maybe a
Yes.
T-shirt. We'll see.
I feel like I should know this.
I feel like
then again, I didn't do research.
I wasn't prepared.
I'm not prepared.
Fine, it's fine. Okay, so it shows roles that challenge you. All right, okay.
Yeah. So if I were to do here's I think a challenging role that I would want to do that I would probably be like terrified of. This sounds so silly because she's not terrifying. Is Mary Poppins?
Oh,
But it's like
yes.
it's such like she's such an elegant person that you don't want to mess that up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
When she's an iconic character.
Yes.
We've talked about that before, like these iconic characters that people know and love, and you're like, okay, I have to, I got to portray this right. I mean, everyone knows that role.
And it's not exactly a role you can kind of like mess with, in my opinion.
Right.
I mean, in my opinion, I feel like Mary Poppins is a very particular character. And so if you tried to play with it and do something different, I feel like the audience would hate it.
Right.
They'd be like, what are you doing? That's not Mary Poppins.
So then it's like, then you have the challenge of finding, how do I weave my own like personality bits into this iconic character, where you keep like the genuineness of it, but also get to put a little bit of you into it.
Yeah.
Finding those little, it's like, that's the fun challenge.
Yeah.
Finding those little pieces.
Yep. I love that.
That would be a great show. Hey, we haven't done that show in a while.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's time to bring it back.
Mary Poppins.
I mean, I like that role is,
Yes, that would be the scary part. And what's funny, again, is she's not scary.
Right.
It's just...
right. Yes.
So that'd be fun. That's all I can really think of.
I think that's great. I think just having those, and the fact that, I mean, I'm just assuming, like, you want to come back and do more.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a one and done for you.
No. Oh my gosh, no.
You're back. You're invested.
Yeah. I have been bit by the bug, and it is not going away.
Good. Yay. We are so excited. We don't want you to go away.
I don't either.
You're such a talent. I remember the first time, I mean, because I've known you.
Yes.
And then I hadn't heard you sing, and then you sang, and I was like, oh, all right. Okay, Leigh.
In all honesty, I would never audition for stuff like in high school because I didn't have the confidence. I was like, there's no way I'm good enough to do anything outside of hiding under the bleachers. I did that as a child.
Yeah.
Christmas concert, I hid under the bleachers.
Oh.
So I went from that to this.
To this. Look at me now.
And there's no stopping me.
But I think that's a great lesson too. Like for those people that are nervous and scared to audition and put themselves out there, what advice would you give them? Like to just being their most true self, how would you inspire them?
My advice would be, who cares? You got one chance to get into whatever it is you want to get into. If you never try, like, you can never say that I tried it and it just didn't work out. Like, at least try it. Give it your all. Literally give it your all, because that's what you really need to do in anything in life, but like theater, like, especially if you want to get a part that you want.
Right.
Don't be afraid to go for what you want. What does it matter being embarrassed? What does it, if you find out later that it's just not for you, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It's everybody is in the same boat. Everybody's going to do the same thing. For those who don't try, for those who never go forward and never push and never finally figure out like if I didn't do this, if I never got back into it, I would have definitely regretted it. Because for years I had kept telling myself and talking to Dustin and saying, hey, like, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? And he's just like, I mean, if you know Dustin, he's like, go full out.
Do it. Yeah.
And what was so great about, like, he's my biggest supporter. Every night and every rehearsal night, he would text me as I'm on my way to rehearsal or a performance, and he'd say, go full out. Don't hold back. And so that support was like, not that I needed, and he understands this too, like we don't need permission to do anything for each other or with each other or anything on our own. But that just like gave that release of like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going all in. I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to do everything I can to make myself proud, but also make the people around me proud.
Yeah.
Because I want them to know also that I'm in it too. Like I'm not here to
halfway do it.
Yes.
Yes.
So go all out. Don't hesitate, because hesitating is where resentment builds, and then you'll be mad at yourself. And that's your own choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why make that choice? Make the better choice.
Well, I think that's great advice. And honestly, I think it also helps to highlight the support that you have at home, just because, I mean, Hell Week in particular is so busy and crazy, but the whole process, like you have to have someone in your corner to be that person who picks up that slack. And we talk about that. They're actually called theater widows.
Oh,
it's the people that are left at home.
Oh, I love that.
We looked it up. It's an actual term.
Never heard that. It's
an actual term. So
makes sense.
Dustin is your theater widow.
Yes.
And we appreciate him and thank him for helping and supporting you.
Heck yeah.
And letting you be back into this with us. We just know that it's a huge lift.
It
coming
really
back.
is. And that trickles into anything, with your job, with it. Like when you don't have a support system at home, it makes it so much harder. Yes. So much harder. So when you've got somebody that's like, spend the hours doing what you need to do, make it to where you spend all this time creating something that you want to create for the two of you or just yourself or whatever it is, so that later in life when you are retired, whatever that means, you then have that time. Like right now is to build something with each other that is going to turn into the life that you want. So support each other in it. Make sure that you have each other's back. Make sure you're vocalizing like, I believe in what you're doing. I love that this makes you happy. Do it as much and as hard as possible. If you're going to do it though, do it.
Yeah.
And like, yeah.
Well, and you've said that before, like when you find that thing you love and like giving it your all, that then trickles into other parts of your life.
Yes.
It's more than just, I love being on stage and I love this moment, but that like euphoria like trickles into all the other pieces of your life. You're like, wow, like things are just better right now.
It's so true. It's so true. Like my performance at work, like I already loved what I did at work, but like it was a switch, and I was like, it almost made things like clearer. Yeah. Because I was just like, I found like a little missing piece that was part of the joy that I like already had. It just made it 10 times bigger. And then my performance at work and life and everything, my efforts were just like, I know exactly what I want now. I thought I knew before, and I even know just better. Like this, and then we go.
Yeah.
We just go.
We just move forward.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit earlier and sneak peeked that you had a missed cue.
Yeah.
So we always ask, our title of our show is The Missed Cue. So Leigh, have you ever missed a cue?
Yes.
Tell us the story.
Yes, I have. Okay, at least it wasn't a performance.
Okay.
Night, so that was a plus.
That's a win.
But we did have mics on. And I will admit I have a potty mouth. And so I have to be very careful. But that night, it was... Grace was here, unfortunately. And so it was the part after the slap, and then me and Warner see it. Vivian and Warner have seen it, and then we run out, and then she's alone. Callahan leaves her, and then me and Warner come back in, and Warner's like, whatever he says.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Miss
Marilyn.
Yeah. And I'm like, shut up, Warner.
You hit him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I didn't. After we saw the slap, we ran, and then I just kept running. I ran out of the theater thinking I had to go do something else.
Like, I'm done. Woo!
And then I'm like, oh. And I say that.
Uh-huh.
And I think I remember Lauren was like, Grace was like, what did she say? Lauren's like, nothing. Keep going.
Turn off her mic, please.
Yes. And I'm like, but I never did it again.
It only happens once.
Yes. Yeah. And so, but what's so great about that is when those mistakes happen, you definitely it's a total learning lesson.
Yeah.
You definitely are like, oh my God, okay, let me rephrase that. The term "the show must go on" is that's a huge part of the meaning.
Yeah.
Even when you are walking off stage, and even when you have to still be all right, that did keep moving on. All right, I missed that. All right, we're gonna work on not doing that again, and we're gonna just keep on moving. And it was same thing with I think it was the first night. I don't know what had happened, but I don't think that we were in places in time for me to start the William Shakespeare speech.
Correct.
So I said the first sentence, and then I was like, nope, we're gonna run out of time. So I had to be all right, and then I had to welcome Elle as our valedictorian, and then that was it. But being, what's amazing is we all can figure out how to be on top of it, and those small pause moments where you're nope, okay, that's not gonna work out, and how fast you have to think to be able to make it work.
Yeah.
I remember there was a part in Dracula the Musical where I think it was the last show, and I had somehow this is terrifying because I'm first time ever doing a large performance like this. And the very last show, I don't know why or how I got these two lines mixed up, but somehow I was just able to think fast and be but, and then I brought it all the way around for it to then continue, and the next person could do their, and I was,
you're how?
Yeah. And I, at the very end, who was our director? He was also in the show. You would know him if I said his name, and I'm sorry that I'm forgetting your name. But anyway, he was thanks for saving us, but don't ever do that again. And I'm you got it.
You're Yeah. No, that's the scariest moment, when you're you're in the scene and either you messed up or someone else messed up, and you're how do we progress
now?
The plot?
Yeah.
How do I what line do I say? So there's sometimes I feel where I'm on stage and I know I don't have any lines, but in my head I'm okay, if they don't come in,
Yeah.
what am I gonna say?
What do I do?
How do I fill this space?
Yes, exactly. It's so awesome.
I know. It's it's that exhilarating,
Yeah.
and then there's that moment where you're are they going to do it, or do I have to step in?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is a thrill, because you, to think as fast as you have to, that's I don't know. I would not think that I would be able to do that. I would have told you that I would not have been able to save that part before until it happened.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised that it just worked. I'm like, okay.
Well, and I think going back to like Jake Ware and Ricky, like those are people that when you're on stage with them, I know worst case scenario, they're gonna save the scene.
Yes.
Bailey, someone that's gonna save the scene. But I mean, there's always those moments where you're like, wait, is it gonna be me?
Yes. Because for the most part, for me, I'm like, that's not me.
No. Until it is.
Until it is. And you're like, okay. And then you're like,
well, and I think that goes back to like your character development. Like you have to think beyond just the words on the page.
yes. Oh
It's
my
so
God.
much more than just, okay, I'm reading this line because it's written.
So true.
And I think that's something that we forget because we put our shows together so quickly.
Yeah.
That if you
You're
don't
right.
if you don't take that time to do that extra stuff, like it just
That's so true. That's so true. That's such a good point.
Okay, so another question we always ask our guests and is I think an important one is if you could only listen to one cast album of a musical for the rest of your life, but you can listen to it as much as you want. Okay. And I know you might not be always listening to musicals like some of our guests, but
I did notice that when everybody was like naming off their music. I was like,
you're like, oh,
well, I was just listening to Chappelle Roan because of these lovely young ladies that have brought it to my attention. I'm like,
yes. So I was going to say that's also allowed. It doesn't have to be musical theater, but
one album, and I know this is so probably cliche, but I truly have been listening to Chicago since I was like little. I would literally play it over and over and over and pretend like I could dance. And
hey, in the bedroom, everything is fair game. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really great at home.
yeah, and I really do love like belty music. Like I love to, whether it's good or not, like I love to scream and belt. Like it's so
It's
fun.
usually good. So.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
Yeah. Then that was like one of the things that I was like, when I first heard Vivian in the MTV version do her belt, I was like, heck yeah.
You're like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in it. I like it. I didn't even realize. I don't know how I had missed that from the first show, but obviously it's been so long. But yeah, rewatching it, getting back into it, and I'm just like, yeah, like this was my part.
Yeah. And you do it so well. Like,
Thank you.
It's like you don't want to like her. Like, and you do a really good job of making us be like, oh.
In the end, at least.
And then I watched a woman in the front row on Saturday night as you guys walked forward at the end, wiping tears from her eyes. And I was like, oh, that's why we do it.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to cry at the end, the last show.
And she...
I have to, like, I think what helps me not cry is when I do belt. Because if I do belt and sing, like, the tears go away. I'm like, just sing really loud so you stop crying. But I don't know if I can control that on the last one.
We'll see what happens on the last one.
Especially when Elle comes out and we're all like,
and then we're like frozen like this.
yes.
I'm like, oh God.
Or just at bowing.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
At the end, oh.
Yes. When they open the door, she walks
And she
through,
walks out.
And I'm just like, oh my God.
I'm like, I'm going to ugly cry now.
Yes.
All right, I have a bonus question before we finish. Do you have any pre-show rituals? Anything that you do before a show?
I'm a big dancer. Like I just do ridiculous dances. Like when we're underneath the stairs.
Yeah.
We're just like
letting it all go.
Ridiculous feeling as you can feel. Like I think I'm funny, first of all. I think I'm funny. So I laugh at myself a lot.
Love that.
So when I dance, I'll try to dance and do like the most weirdest dance possible. And it makes me laugh. And then I feel great.
Yeah?
So yeah.
I love that.
You should ask Allie and Bree when we're underneath.
I'm gonna. This might be like a special Miss Q interview later.
Yeah.
Little reel to put up.
They have, I think, videos of me down underneath there, especially with that green light.
Oh, yeah, with the... Wow. Okay.
It's ridiculous.
So again, you're just being silly and getting ready to just put it all out there.
Yes.
I feel like that's the overall, just putting it out there.
100%.
Be you and just let it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be silly, be you. And and also like not take it so seriously.
Yeah. Who cares?
Who cares?
Just
like,
have fun.
I care about doing my best, but don't take it so seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've heard that a lot on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take yourself so seriously, but just do it up. Make it 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Leigh, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you in future productions.
Thank you. Me too.
It'll be amazing.
I'm looking forward to dancing with you under the stage.
Yes. Oh, it will happen. And until next time, remember there's no excuse for a missed or late cue.
No, ma'am.
Well, we'll see you next time.
This episode of The Miss Q is brought to you by Anderson Auto and Power Sports, proudly serving Mojave County since 1999 with top-tier rides and hometown pride. Whether it's roads or waves, Anderson's got you covered. Follow The Miss Q on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube. And remember, there's no excuse for a missed or late cue.